excuse the supreme messiness that is me today. I thought I would do a little bit of a vlog or a little bit of a video on my thoughts on Marley spoon. So I have had HelloFresh before I started doing these vlogs. I got like special coupons and deals and stuff, and I just kept using them until they ran out. And then when they ran out, I cancelled it because I was like, well, I can't afford to pay full price for it. And I saw a deal, get $35 off your first order. I looked at the value. So 3 meals is 70. 2 meals was like 55. I worked out the per cost of meal. If I got the 2 meals, it was going to cost $20. So that was $10 per meal. The 3 meals, it was $35. So it actually worked out to around $11.50 or so a meal. So I actually went with the 2 because it was the cheapest. It's just arrived at my door. It arrived promptly early this morning. I didn't even like know. I checked the tracking and it said it was like at my door. So it was really efficient. It said it was arriving between 8:15 and 10:15. So it has arrived. I'm about to grab in the box and I'll show you what is inside. I really like the meal kit. Sometimes obviously the food, some people have complaints about the freshness and stuff like that. I haven't had too many issues in that department, but I'll obviously compare Marley spoon to HelloFresh and I'll let you know how it goes. So I just requested it get left at my front door. If you haven't ordered one of these meal kit services before, basically they provide almost everything other than a few like essentials like salt, pepper, sometimes like honey, oil, that kind of stuff. And you select from a number of different meal options. You can select from vegetarian options, from healthy options, some less healthy options. I know with HelloFresh they have an option of a gourmet thing where you pay a little bit extra. For me, I never really saw like the worth of that, like just because I got a bit of prosciutto or something to add to my chicken. I was like, well, I'd rather just like get the prosciutto separately or whatever. So, and what I liked about this is when I got the free HelloFresh box, I had to pay for delivery. I think it's because I chose to get a 4-person meal. I don't know, I really milked that. Like I got like $150 worth of HelloFresh for like $20 or $30. And that was good and I really liked it. And I kept getting it when I kept getting discount codes and stuff like that. And as I said, yeah, then I stopped. So I'm curious about Marley spoon. I've just got the 2 meals this week. So I'm going to open it up and I will show you guys what's inside. Okay, so very similar in concept to HelloFresh. So I've got a little welcome pack, which is cute. I'll have a look through that shortly. It'll probably just explain how Marley and Spoon works. So that is very similar to HelloFresh. Yeah, these are great actually. I don't know if HelloFresh have upped it since I had it, but I found that like the offerings didn't have a lot to offer, if that makes sense. Like I think they had maybe 8 to 10 meals, whereas Marley and Spoon had 20. So I thought that was good. So these obviously the options. So you've got fast, 25 minutes, meat and fish, so 15 meat and fish recipes, no added gluten. Obviously it says not for celiac, so obviously they can't remove the traces. Family friendly meals, vegetarian meals, and healthy options. So that's good. I really liked that. Okay, so in your box, you get the recipes. So I chose the Middle Eastern beef pilau. It's 40 minutes, 2 portions with a mint and tomato salad. Basically, Dylan will get a portion and Emmett and I will share. I'm interested to see if it's enough for us. I've found some meals very generous and others are a bit on the smaller side, especially my husband, he can eat quite a lot. And the other recipe I've got is a Spanish style beef with capsicum and potatoes. Dylan doesn't love capsicum, so I'll be interested to see what he thinks. Smoky and rustic flavors of Spain. I actually love these, I keep these. And the recipe cards, they say what they send. So obviously what we require, so just salt, pepper, water, and olive oil, the utensils you require, allergen information, calories, fats, all that kind of stuff, and like literally step-by-step instructions. So I got Dylan to actually cook when I had HelloFresh, which for me was amazing. I know next year when I'm back at work, I probably will use this service maybe even every second week just to give me a little bit of a break and know that Dylan can put some meal together. So Middle Eastern beef pilaf with mint and tomato salad, that's the first one. And the Spanish style beef with capsicum and potatoes. And also they just put like a baggie. Yeah. So think green, made from at least 85% renewable raw materials. Sugarcane packaging can be reused and is recyclable. Oh, good. I know that some of the stuff wasn't. I think, some of the stuff with HelloFresh was recyclable as well. I don't know if the stuff on the inside is. Oh, it's got meat on the inside, so I'm gonna open that up. So in here you have some freezer baggies. These are reusable ice packs. I actually have frozen a couple of those from when I got HelloFresh. Just gonna put them in there for now. I actually use these boxes to store Emmett's old baby clothes. So beef stir fry strips, 300 grams. They're really, I found the quality of the meat pretty good in these things. Like it's they're pretty lean cuts of meat, which I think is good. Dylan would probably eat 200 grams of meat and I'd probably have 100, but with Emmett, Dylan might have to have 180 and I might have to have 80 because Emmett eats a bit. And the mint, it's not actually this pink. The camera's just picking it up as really pink. It's definitely more of a reddish color. And that's 300 grams of premium beef, Australian grass-fed beef as well. It's a product of Australia, has the best before, so the 30th of the 11th, which is actually 20th today, so it's 10 days. So that's good. So there's 10 days worth of the cryovac meat. So that's really good. I like that for good shelf life. Some tips from me. So this might sound really weird, but when I am picking these meals, there's a couple of things that I consider when I pick them. One, obviously, will we eat it? Two, is it something that we haven't tried before, and is it something that's a bit interesting that I wouldn't cook myself and might want to learn to cook with, or just push me a little bit out of the comfort zone of the foods that I normally cook with. Three, I tend to look for recipes that have maximum ingredients. So this just maybe is a personal thing, but I like to get the most bang for my buck. Some meals are just like, I don't know, chicken with some vegetables. And for me, the cost per meal just isn't worth it. Whereas I find like if I'm getting premium beef and stuff that I would normally spend a bit more money on myself, or fish like salmon, those kinds of things, I find that it's a bit more value for money from my perspective. So they're my main tips when you're looking at the meals that you are going to order. So let's have a look at the Spanish style beef first. It says its best before date is the 26th of the 11th, so I've really got a full week to cook that. That's good. I'm going to cook one tonight, and then I will probably cook one on Thursday or Friday night. Probably Friday, because I'm not home tomorrow night and the next night actually. So parsley, as you can see, it's like quite a generous amount of parsley. What else is in here? Got the ciabatta bread. I personally feel like that could be two rather than just the one. I mean, I would only eat half of one, but Dylan might want more. Then we have got the potatoes. That's a fair amount of potatoes. Like, that's about how many potatoes I would cook with for us anyway. We have got the Spanish spice blend. That's, yeah, again, like a decent amount of spices. One brown onion, one very small capsicum, which Dylan will be pleased about because he doesn't love capsicum. A clove of garlic, 2 vegetable stock cubes, and some tomato paste. Not a lot of ingredients in that. I know what I'm like, and I will probably add a few extras to that recipe. So because it's a beefy stew type thing, I might add a tin of tomatoes, I might add some spinach, just some other bits and pieces. I'll taste the spices. If I'm not happy with spices, I might add a few more spices as well, because A, it'll bulk it out, and B, obviously it'll make it more flavorful, and you can see for yourself whether you think it's good value for your family. For me, this is what you've got to consider. If you are the type of family who eats out a lot, who doesn't know what to cook, who is time poor, who is over the same old recipes, who struggles to make time to go to the supermarket and as a result eats lots of takeaway, which adds up in cost, this kind of service I think is absolutely fabulous, okay? I actually think that you will end up saving money in the long term by having a few of these meals ready to go. What I also like about them is if you've got children who you're happy to have in the kitchen, so for me I say like anywhere from perhaps 8 upwards, the recipes are fairly simple and you can get your family involved with cooking. Like my husband doesn't know how to cook. He can follow recipes, but he doesn't have an instinctual way of cooking the way that I do. For me, when I do go back to work next year and I'm going back 3 days a week, I'm going to be busy, and it's going to be good to know that there's a meal or two that I can have in the fridge that if I'm not here, that Dylan can prepare for Emmett and himself, know that they're going to get something that's nutritious and not like McDonald's or pizza or something that's full of sodium and fat and all that sort of stuff. I think that they definitely have a purpose to serve, and I think that if you're someone who's a really savvy budgeter, so like at the moment, I'm super savvy with what I'm buying. Oh, sorry, with what I'm buying. I just stepped on my dog. I shop markdowns. Like yesterday, I didn't do a haul because I didn't have time, but I literally got like $50 worth of stuff from Coles for $10. So I found like 80% off like potatoes and zucchinis and parsnips and all sorts of stuff. And I buy lots of discounted meat as long as it has at least a day of expiry left. If you are one of those kind of people who budget shops and goes to Aldi and all the little things and you have time to do that, this is not the service for you. Yeah, you can get a free box, sure, but you're probably not going to use it again. This is to me a service of someone who needs to be reinvigorated, who is a bit time poor. And time poor is a thing. And people go, oh, you've always got more time, you can make time. Okay, yeah, you can. But you also could lose your sanity. Like you need time for yourself too. So I think this really helps cut that down. It's the same as getting your groceries delivered. Yeah, some people might see it as lazy, but it's also something that you can do to really save time. So I'm going to show you the next box. On to meal number 2, the Middle Eastern beef pilaf. All right, what do we got here? So again, we have decent amount of mint, This mint's relatively fresh looking. Lebanese cucumber. We have za'atar seasoning. So za'atar, sesame seeds, sumac, thyme and salt. This is actually good. I was reading the Ottolenghi Simple book and he said a good za'atar literally has 4 ingredients, which are these. So that's really good. Some chicken stock cubes. I know the recipe's only call for 1 stock cube each, so I will keep the remainder. A lemon, a tin of lentils. My husband doesn't love lentils, but I don't care. I really like them and they're really healthy. Tahini paste, so that's a sesame seed paste. Obviously keep in mind allergens. Emmett so far hasn't shown any allergens. Oh, a whole punnet of cherries. These at the moment are like $3 or $4 a punnet, so that's actually really good value. Oh, brown rice. And that's it. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one looks really and sounds really yummy and a bit different to me. I actually thought that the Middle Eastern falafel, they're meant to have yogurt? Or am I meant to provide yogurt? No, okay. I'm confused. That looks like yogurt to me. Does that not look like yogurt to you guys? It must be the tahini sauce. But I thought tahini was made from sesame seeds and it's kind of more brown. Anyway, doesn't matter. I will show you guys when I cook it. Again, it's got all the steps. Yeah, drizzle with the tahini sauce and the mint and tomato salad. I don't know how my husband's going to go with this. I don't know what he's going to think of it. I might save this one for later in the week when I've got backup meals if he's really not a fan of it. I know Emmett will eat it because Emmett eats everything. Like me, he's not fussy. So, yeah, as you can see, it's quite generous. Like you get quite a lot of ingredients. That impresses me. I mean, these Valverde lentils would normally be maybe about $1.50. They might be about $3 or $50 or $4. So there's already $5 or $6 just there. 300 grams of that premium beef mince, again, it's probably around $4 to $5 depending on where you purchase it from. The rice wouldn't cost a lot. Cucumber, $1 to $3 depending on where you buy it from. Lemon, 50 cents to say $2 depending on seasonality. And the mint, actually the mint would probably cost a couple of bucks. So I mean, like, you're probably actually getting about $10 worth of ingredients. And so for me, this meal's a write-off, so it's free. That's how I look at it. Obviously, if you're paying full price for it, it's definitely not going to be as good value. So $55 for 2 meals to me is very expensive. So that's over $20. Wow, over 20. That's $27.50 a meal. I would not pay $27.50 for this meal. Absolutely no way. I want to like point that out. If you paid full price for 2 meals with Marley Spoon or HelloFresh, I think is very similar price wise. It's not good value. I'd really like $27.50. You could get takeaway for that. I mean, maybe it's not going to be as healthy. You could run into Coles or Safeway, or I don't know, obviously you guys live in different countries, but you can run in and grab like a takeaway rotisserie chicken, some salads, and come out at $20. So $27.50, even though it is convenient delivered to your door, to me is way overpriced. I feel like it should be priced around $40. I think $20 a meal is still a little bit more expensive. However, the convenience, all that kind of stuff, like I could justify it, you know what I mean? Like if I could pay $40 to have 2 meals in the fridge as backups every week or two, and I probably personally would get every week, maybe every second week, just so that I know that I've got a break coming. For the convenience of that, I would probably consider it. For $55 for 2 meals, no way. $70 for 3 meals, it starts to get a little bit cheaper again. So you're looking at what? Still $25 a meal. That's a lot. I think that's a lot. I can get a lot of groceries for $75. So obviously, again, you have to think about your budget and how this weighs up. If you can get a coupon, if you can get a discount, go for it. I will keep you updated. I will show you how, as I'm cooking, this is not sponsored in any shape or form. I paid for all of these ingredients myself. I am nowhere near a popular enough YouTuber to get free stuff. So I have 100% paid for this all by myself. Okay, so I am making the Middle Eastern beef pilaf for dinner. So far the prep's been pretty straightforward, so I'll just show you what I've done and I'll step you through it and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. It asked me to mince the garlic. I've zested a lemon, I've squeezed the lemon juice, and I've put a pot of water on. It said salted water, but I don't use salt in my cooking with Emmett, so I haven't done that. But I have put the boiling water on and I've just added the rice to it, and I've also prepped my lentils. So I'm now up to step 2, which is prepare the salad vegetables. So I'm going to get working on that and I will keep you updated. Prepared some of the salad now, and I'm about to make the tahini dressing. So on the front, I think I showed you earlier, it looks white. But like, as you can see, tahini is like a brown paste, which is exactly what I thought because it's made from sesame seeds. It's a key ingredient in hummus. Yeah, and something I did notice, I was just reading ahead of the recipe and it said that the remaining lentils won't be used, so only using half the lentils. Did you drop it? Sorry, baby. Where's it gone? Emmett's eating some cucumber, but it's disappeared into his seat. Yeah, so it said I need to use half the lentils, so I'm just going to use all of them because I was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with lentils otherwise. Like, I'm not going to cook anything else this week with them, and I hate waste, so I'm just going to use the lentils to bulk out the dish. I don't know why that they just would include them unless it's for a calorie reason, but for me, it's just going to stretch it. So I'm going to have to separate this. And actually, that's something it didn't say. It just said to prepare the vegetables. And look, the picture does say keep them separate, so that's my fault. And I should have read the recipe ahead. So half the tomatoes are going to be added actually into the dish, so I'm going to do that now. The tip, read ahead on the recipe. I normally do read ahead, but I think it's just because I got Emmett woke up just as I started preparing, so I'm kind of like a bit limited with my thinking space at the moment. Here you have garlic, mint, and half of the za'atar. The rice is cooking away. So once this mint is browned, I believe I add in the tomatoes, lemon zest, lemon juice. Oh no, sorry, I add in the stock, and then once that's sort of absorbed in the lentils and tomatoes, and then I add in other things. But yeah, so it is coming along nicely. This is where I'm going to go rogue on the recipe. I've added more lentils than what it said, and I'm also going to add in some chili because it's a Middle Eastern type of dish, and I feel like chili will complement it, and Emmett will eat a bit of chili, so I feel like I'm going to add that. Probably should have browned the meat a bit longer, but I'm kind of rushing because I'm busy and I have lots to do. Adding a heaped dessert spoonful of tomato paste. I just feel like it needs it. Nearing completion of this recipe, because I've added all the lentils, I've added a little bit of the rice water to this as well. We're going to add a little bit more. Should have broken the beef up a smidge more, but I don't know, we like it chunky here anyway. Okay, so I've just added the lemon juice and lemon zest, which is the last. The recipe now just has to sort of simmer until the rice is tender. Emmett's getting cranky. Are you getting cranky? It's okay. Then it is done pretty much. I've only got like a really minor thing to do with the salad, but I won't do that until later. We're not eating yet. I'm just preparing this in advance. This recipe I think is good because it can be prepared in advance. And as you can see, it's a pretty generous serve, and it will definitely feed Dylan, Emmett and I, so that is good to know. Just some midpoint observations about the recipe. I have found it pretty easy and straightforward to put together. There were a lot of bowls and things though. Yeah, so I have found that there's like lots of steps and lots of like chopping and putting aside and chopping and putting aside, and like my everyday meals, unless I'm doing like a meat and veg meal, are just like normally 1 or 2 pots max. You know, like 1 chopping board, 1 knife, chop up an onion, you know, chuck in some already pre-minced garlic. And I think that's the difference. I think that's what's good about these recipes, that they do force you to be a bit more creative with your cooking. However, I do think that you obviously can put stuff together quicker. Like I could make a quicker version of this dish, and what it would involve is, you know, completely cook the rice. I would do pre-minced garlic. I would do minced tomato, like tin tomatoes straight in, the spices straight in, like sort of just chuck it all in. I'd throw together the salad at the last minute. It says to do the salad prep earlier. I think that's obviously because the tomatoes need to be chucked in, and they're like, oh well, you may as well. I just wouldn't. I would just like use the tin tomatoes, then I would chop up cherries separately, and yeah, I'd probably just run a slightly more efficient way of throwing it together, but this is obviously more authentic and actually has more whole ingredients that you cook yourself, so I think that that's a positive. Served Emmett up a portion. It's quite a decent size. You can't probably see, that's probably about a cup's worth of food for Emmett. Guys, so I just wanted to do a super quick wrap up of my Marley spoon experience. Overall, I had no issues with Marley spoon. Everything was fresh. All of the ingredients were tasty. The meals were good. They were plentiful. My biggest issue with most of these meal delivery kits is that they're just not budget friendly enough for my needs. I've looked into Dinnerly, which is a lot cheaper, but I feel like the recipes reflect that. So, you know, you're getting 4, 5, 6 ingredients, and it's like, wow, it's not really very worth it to me. So yeah, I mean, I think if you're time poor, if you need something just quick and easy on a work night to put together, I definitely think Marley spoon is a good option for you. If you're somebody who's trying to budget, or if you like really especially large portions, or if you really like to have your own flair with cooking, I just don't really think that it's the right thing for you. Definitely something that I would use again if the price point was right, or if we're in a situation where I could justify the cost. And you know, definitely I think if you are someone who eats takeaway 2, 3, even 4 nights a week, or go out for dinner a lot, this could potentially resolve some of the money that's going into that, or just get you into the habit of cooking. I think it's also probably really good for people who don't know how to cook, and it's definitely going to teach you some different skills. So yeah, if that sort of sounds like you, definitely give it a go. You know, use the discount code. There's always plenty floating around the internet and give it a go. You might like it and you might surprise yourself. Anyway, I'm gonna go. As always, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content, please like and subscribe. I do apologize that there has been not that many videos lately. I've just been so busy. I keep saying that, but yeah, I'm going back to work a little bit. I'm looking at getting a platter business off the ground, which is just very slow going, but hopefully that's happened. Nearly Christmas, just heaps going on. So yeah, I do apologize, and yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. All right, see ya.